Hello everyone and welcome to the final episode of Your Absolute Mind podcast. But this isn't goodbye, this is the birth of something new, something even more exciting. Now, as I stand here reflecting on the journey of this podcast, I'm struck by how far we've come since we first launched in 2014. Now, what began as a space focused on hypnosis for various conditions has evolved into a multifaceted conversation about mental health, personal empowerment, and all the ways that we can help each other and ourselves to become mentally healthy. Now, the transformation of this podcast mirrors my own journey as a therapist. Over the years, I've had the privilege of working with thousands of people on a one-to-one basis, witnessing firsthand the profound changes that can occur when people embrace the right tools and the right knowledge for their mental health. Seeing people transform their lives is something that has continuously fueled my passion in what I do. But lately, I've noticed a troubling trend that I just can't ignore. And despite the overwhelming access we now have to information through podcasts, through YouTube, self-help books, audiobooks, and easily digestible science, mental health struggles seem to be on the rise. People are feeling more overwhelmed, more lost and unsupported than ever before. And this paradox really concerns me. How can we have more resources available than ever before, yet still feel like we're missing something? Now, this question has been driving force behind my desire to make mental health simpler, more actionable, and above all, truthful. It feels like for the last 5 years, mental health was the big topic of conversation. But now everyone seems to be focused on AI, artificial intelligence. And while AI is fascinating, I think it's time we turned our attention to another kind of AI, actual intelligence. That's what this next chapter is all about. Real human intelligence. Of course, focus on AI, which is artificial intelligence, but also focus on actual interactions AI and the real ways that we can connect with ourselves and others to improve our mental health. For too long, the conversation surrounding mental health has been clouded by misconceptions and misunderstandings. And now, with such an overwhelming volume of information available, it's easy to feel paralyzed, not knowing where to start or what actually works for you, for the next person. So this is where I feel a strong sense of urgency to step in, to clarify, to distill, and to make mental health something that you can truly grasp and act on. So over the years, I've learned that when we break down mental health into simple, digestible concepts, incredible things happen. People begin to see the possibilities within themselves. They start to realize that the small daily actions that they take can lead to some significant lasting changes in their mental health and their mental well-being. So this isn't about offering quick fixes or easy solutions. It's about laying the groundwork for genuine understanding and long-term empowerment for every one of you that listens to this podcast and more. Now, as I've continued to grow as a therapist, I've come to appreciate that mental well-being is not a linear journey. It's full of twists, it's full of turns, it's got its ups and downs, challenges and changes. And as we evolve as individuals, so too must our understanding of mental health. Now, my goal is to simplify what it takes to become mentally healthy. That's been my goal with this podcast from the beginning, to create a space for new ideas to take root, a space that encourages action, growth, and real change. And now, as we enter this new chapter, I'm super excited to take that mission even further. The podcast is being rebranded as The Truth About Mental Health. And in this new phase, I'm committed to diving even deeper into the complexities of mental well-being by again simplifying it. We'll be tackling the myths, the misconceptions, and the misunderstandings head on. We'll explore what mental health really means and how we can break down the barriers that often prevent us from seeking help or truly understanding our own needs. But this isn't just about me sharing my own experiences. This podcast has always been about creating a community where we can learn together. So moving forward, I want to bring in more voices, mental health experts, HR professionals, and people who've walked their own paths to mental well-being. And together, hopefully, we'll paint a more comprehensive picture of what mental health looks like today. We'll acknowledge the struggles, but also celebrate the successes along the way. And I'm especially excited to bring you interviews and discussions that go beyond the surface. We'll explore not only what's working in the workplace and in personal life, but also what's not. And it's crucial that we start shifting the conversation away from just identifying problems and start focusing on real, actionable solutions. Solutions that empower you to take charge of your mental health. Solutions organization can roll out to make a bigger impact with the employees and teams. Now, this next chapter of podcast will be about finding these solutions together. It's about understanding that mental health isn't a one-size-fits-all journey. There are many different paths to well-being, and it's about finding the one that works for you. Change is inevitable. Just as I've evolved as a therapist and as a person, our understanding of mental health must evolve too. So embracing that change isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of growth. But the massive takeaway, even though everyone's mental health journey is different, I've found that as a therapist, the same several tools and approaches applied slightly different to each of my clients do most of the heavy lifting to help people towards becoming mentally healthy. So this is the key here, simplicity. That's what this podcast is all about. It's always been about simplicity. It's about embracing change, challenging the status quo, and empowering you with the knowledge and the tools to create real, lasting change in your life. So the truth about mental health will be a place where we dig deep. We'll dig deep into the science of mental health. We'll break down complex concepts into actionable steps and ultimately help you to build the habits that will support your well-being for years to come. Now, I've always believed that mental health isn't just something that we should talk about when we're in crisis. It's actually something that we should be talking about and focusing on every day. That's why in 2023, I launched the Your Absolute Mind app. This was designed to extend the principles. And we've discussed on the podcast and give you a platform to explore mental health tools on your own terms. I knew that while one-on-one therapy is incredibly powerful, it's reached its limit. It's limited. Now, the app has allowed me to support more people than I ever could have thought in my practice alone. This mission evolved even further when I developed an employee assistance program, so an EAP, tailored to helping businesses, organizations to create mental well-being among their employees. Now, we spend so much time at work, and our mental health at work matters just as much as it does at home. The goal is to provide companies with the tools that they need to support their teams, not just in times of crisis, but in their everyday mental health journeys. And I've mentioned this before, but I see mental health for employees and employers to be deemed as unlocking a superpower rather than trying to just carefully dance around a person's current challenges. I don't see mental health in the workplace or something we do to catch someone once they've fallen, but the role within the workplace is to allow a person to become mentally resilient, to expand their ability to deal with the complex situations that life and business throws at them. All of it. So mental health in the workplace, it then becomes superpower. It becomes a superpower and not something that we need to learn to accept something. We all thrive for more of. And now, with the truth about mental health, I feel like we're stepping into the final evolution of this podcast. It's time to get to the heart of what mental health really is, to clear away the clutter and get to the truth. I want to give you science-backed, actionable insights that you can apply in your everyday life. Insights that will help you to build small, consistent habits that can lead to profound changes in your well-being. And as we embark on this next chapter, I encourage you to stay curious, stay open, and stay engaged. Mental health is a journey. It's not a destination. Just the same way as anything we learn from a sport to an instrument, there's a core 20% of what we do that accounts for 80% of what really matters. And it's that simplicity, that message, that experience gained from tens of thousands of hours of working with clients over the years that I want to empower each and every listener to know that they are potentially just a few right steps forward to help themselves and their teams to be the very best and, more importantly, feel their very best. There'll always be more to learn, more to explore, more to discover about ourselves. But the more that we can embrace this journey together, the stronger we'll all be. So, thank you for being a part of this journey with me so far. Whether you've been listening from the very beginning when this was all hypnosis focused, or you've just found us, I'm grateful for your time and your trust. and I'm excited to see where this next phase takes us. Together, we'll break down the barriers that keep us from understanding our own mental health, challenge the misconceptions, and build a community that thrives on understanding and support. So as we move forward, I invite you to join me in uncovering the real truths about mental health. Together, we'll explore what really works, what doesn't, and how we can all take charge of our mental health, our well-being. And I can't wait to share these upcoming discussions, expert insights, and practical strategies with you going forward. Remember, the truth about mental health is within reach, and together, we're going to uncover it along the way.